Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 2nd of August. This Saturday, we do have a 7-game main slate this afternoon and a 3-game night slate that we're going to look at. Games are kind of spread out weird times today, so slates are a little different than usual. With that said, there really isn't any weather to worry about. Slight rain in Tampa Bay, but I don't think that's on the main slate. More weather or wind blowing in than out. Temps in the 70s in a lot of games, so some places have cooled off a little bit. Sacramento appears to be the top offensive environment on the day. Maybe Colorado, of course, because it is Coors, but still. We just saw a bunch of runs yesterday in Coors. I would be looking at a few runs less. I know, bold statement given that there were 33 runs scored or whatever it was. But feels like a game that I kind of want to avoid. If you're playing that game in any slates, I guess it's not even on the main slate or anything, so that does help us out a bit. But with that said, this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play in FanDuel, I'll cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now with all that said and done, let's jump into the main slate here. Milwaukee, Washington, Irvin, not really somebody I'm interested in. I just don't know that he has enough upside. Was solid against Milwaukee the first time he faced them. Didn't pick up a win, 3 unearned runs. Win total, we would have pushed up to 22 fantasy points. It's decent, but I'm just not really interested in a 22-point ceiling. He did approach 30 earlier in the year. That was in back-to-back starts against Pittsburgh and Colorado, who for the first half of the season were by far the 2 weakest offenses in all of baseball. I'm just not interested in Irvin. Other side, Woodruff. His second start back was against Washington. Looked pretty solid. 2 solo home runs, but 10 strikeouts. Strikeout numbers have come down a little bit his last 2 starts, but still, not allowing a ton of base runners, hits, etc. Up to 85 pitches last start. Probably sits in the 80 to 85 range again with some upside to maybe 90 pitches. But I would guess he's kind of limited at 6 innings per start. He's definitely in play because I think he can obviously get there in 6 innings. He's done it in 3 of his 4 starts so far. His last start not exceptionally great, but 2 of the 4 starts, 25 plus fantasy points in 6 innings. So 6 innings is certainly enough for Woodruff to get it done. Elite pitching matchup in the next game. Skubal versus Zach Wheeler. Definitely a spot I'm going to love for pitching. They are pricey, of course, but still. Skubal on the road has been absolutely ridiculous. His K numbers are better at home, but still, just phenomenal. Philadelphia can strike out plenty. On the other side, Detroit can strike out plenty as well. So Zach Wheeler, coming off of a not-so-great start. Actually not great in 2 out of his last 3 starts. But 3 out of his last 5, he struck out 10-plus batters. Ton of upside. He's pitching at home where he's been absolutely phenomenal. His K numbers are better when at home. So it is a great matchup. I mean, Skubal's at his best when on the road. Wheeler's at his best when at home. That's where we get him today. 2 pitchers that I want to use in a handful of lineups. Obviously, the 2 highest owned pitchers on the slate, combining for about 89% ownership as of right now. So they're far and away, the 2 chalkiest at this point. We're going to get to, I like Woodruff quite a bit too, but we're going to get to my favorite GPP pitcher coming up in a couple games as well. Houston, Boston, not really a spot I want to use pitching. Colton Gordon probably could be fine. against this Boston lineup, but I'm not going to get there. Walker Buehler, I'm just not playing the Walker Buehler guessing game. So many walks. Strikeout upside just isn't there. Hasn't K'd more than 4 guys in a start in nearly 2 months. It's not going to get it done at this point, so I'll gladly pass on pitching in that game. Minnesota, Cleveland, Bailey Ober making his return. I believe he was kind of limited, 5 innings, but only 65 pitches. So I do think he's going to be limited out of the gate, especially because he only made 2 starts in the rehab. I just don't think we can use him right now. We need to see him come back and healthy. He's been fairly decent against Cleveland this year, just no strikeouts. I don't mind, picking on Cleveland with pitching. It's just Ober needs to show me something. He hasn't put up more than 20, actually more than 15 fantasy points since the beginning of May. So obviously he's been out with an IL injury on the IL, but still, it's definitely somebody I need to see it before I believe it. On the other side, Tanner Bibee. I heard there was rumors that my video didn't have sound yesterday, so you missed out on Gavin Williams being my favorite pitcher. And that's the case here with Tanner Bibee. The main reason, the Twins are rolling out basically a AAA lineup without Buxton and then all the trades they made, etc. There's a lot of K upside for Bibee coming off of an 8K performance. Strikes out lefties at a higher clip, and Minnesota is going to have a decent amount of left-handed bats in the lineup. I love the K upside. I'm willing to gamble. I've been wrong a bit on Bibee at various times this season. I thought he was lined up for just a spectacular year. He's been really all over the place. He is pitching at home, where he's far better. His K numbers haven't been great at home. They just haven't been great overall, but still, his home numbers are just far better. Just 4 home runs allowed compared to 16 on the road. It's a big difference, so Bibee is going to be my favorite GPP pitcher of the day. And we did see our initial reports have him around 18% owned. You can bet I'm probably going to be near double that as of right now. San Francisco's calling up a minor leaguer, and then the Mets, Kodai Senga. I want to use Senga. He just hasn't looked good the last couple. Strikeouts aren't really there. Walks are up. Home runs allowed are up. He wasn't very good against San Francisco, but he has been really good at home. I'm probably going to use him, but I don't think it's going to be very much. He's projected to be higher on than Bibee, higher on than Woodruff. I'd rather play both of those guys over Senga today. So I just don't know. I think Senga probably makes my pool, but he's somebody that I'm probably going to end up underweight on if I don't completely fade him. Texas, Seattle. Merrill Kelly making his Texas debut. I think there's plenty of upside. He did face Seattle once. Was pretty strong. Tough to trust his home run splits since he's technically on the road. Playing for a new team. He's on the road anyways, but he's at least interesting, especially at 8% or sub 8%. I have a little more interest in him than I even do Senga for GPP purposes. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I'm interested. On the other side, Luis Castillo. K numbers kind of ugly, but he's far better when at home, and that's where he's at. K numbers at home are definitely much stronger. A couple starts recently of 7 strikeouts. I am going to utilize Luis Castillo at 7,800. He's been a guy that I've been mostly off this season, but I do think it's an upside spot. It's not the easiest of matchups by any means. Last game on the slate is Miami and the Yankees. Yuri Perez, Cam Schlittler. Yuri could have been dealt. I wouldn't have been shocked at the deadline. He's a guy that, hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in 5 starts. So he's just really strong. He hasn't blown up from a K upside standpoint just yet. Strong 8 Ks here against Cincinnati. Dangerous lineup in the Yankees, but there are plenty of strikeouts. So I do think I want to use Yuri Perez. On the other side, Cam Schlittler, a guy that I do want to use, but he's super volatile. Walks can be an issue. He allows plenty of base runners. That whip of 1.84 is really ugly. With that said, like, he's flashed the ability, if he can avoid making some mistakes, like, he has a shot at really strong performances. Obviously, the issue, he racks up pitch count kind of early and often. I want to use him, but if it comes down to it, I'm only using one pitcher from this game. It would be Yuri Perez. Take a look at ownership quick. Yeah, Yuri's 22%. I don't mind him at that number. I didn't like Kodai Senga at nearly 20%. Schlittler down at 5 to 6%. I could see getting 10 to 12% if you wanted to use him. Otherwise, I wouldn't blame you for passing on Schlittler right now. Night slate, just a 3-gamer. Zach Gallen against the A's. K upside, but obviously Gallen has had some struggles this season. Somebody that I'm probably going to play just because I believe he's more like last year's version than he is this year's version. But it is a tough pitching slate, so you kind of just have to go with him. Savale, the Angels can strike out a bunch. Savale has had some pretty strong starts. Just got to use him, even though it feels gross. Hendricks might actually be in play on a 3-game slate, even though the White Sox have scored some runs recently, but our options are limited, to say the least. JT again, somebody that I want to use, seems to have some upside. Not the greatest ballpark for him. He's been best when away from home. He's allowed a home run almost every 3 innings when pitching at home in this ballpark this season. It's an ugly number. K numbers haven't really been there as a starter either. But he's getting stretched out. Might be worth some sprinkles at this point. I don't really want to use pitching in the St. Louis-San Diego game. 2 teams that just don't strike out all that much. So I'll kind of stick to the other 4 pitchers. But the other 4 pitchers aren't all that great either. But there we have it. There's the first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And we do still have the merch store going. I know I drop it in every video, but just want you guys to check out what we have going on there. And as always, best of luck, everybody.